Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about a concept that I've been struggling with for quite a while. And the concept has to do with pain. So the current neuroscience out there is saying that pain is all within the brain, and that all pain can be controlled, and that you can manage your pain through thought and controlling your thought. And in a lot of ways, I can see the truth in this, and I can see that it's accurate in so many ways, but I'm kind of feeling that there's some shortcomings to this belief and theory, and I think there's a lot of patients out there that are getting mismanaged by saying, no, you just need to change your thoughts and everything will be fine. And so what brought this up for me today was a week ago I injured my head, and I was doing a fun bike ride, and I was following a buddy, and there was a tree down in the trail, and I was following him. I'm pretty confident I was getting one of the fastest times I ever got on that trail, so I was just loving every bit of it. And I was following him, and went under this tree. Well, my buddy flew under the tree, and I was like, all right, I got to keep up with him. So with no second thought whatsoever, I go under this tree. The difference between him and me is I'm 6'4", he's around 5'5". So lo and behold, I don't make it past the tree. And what ends up happening is I get this big whack on my head, stops me completely on my bike. I hear my ears ringing, just really not good. And I was like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but this is not going to be good. So I take my helmet off, and there's blood dripping. And so I know immediately this is not going to be good. And this is not a great situation, because my buddy didn't hear that I had wrecked, and kept on going. So not knowing what my head looked like, I didn't put a helmet back on because I didn't know what damage was there. And so I had to ride slowly down the trail until I got back to my buddy. So the interesting thing with that injury was I knew something was going on because I could feel the blood dripping down, but I didn't know exactly what went on. And so my buddy took some pictures, showed it to me, and he's like, yeah, this must really hurt. And I was like, no, really, it's not bad. And he's like, well, it's going to hurt. And so he shows me the pictures, I see it, and something that I do well, and I'm not sure if I use the terminology right, but I go into some type of shock. And this has happened to me multiple times. When I should be experiencing a lot of pain, my body goes into some type of control to where I don't feel it. And so I was able to get down to the car, get changed, drive an hour, get to an urgent care, find out that I have no coverage. And so I decided to go home to get it fixed and have my wife just Steri-strip it. So long story short, that process lasted for at least 3 to almost 4 hours before we ended up in urgent care to have it dealt with by professionals. So we go to the urgent care. Interesting enough, I was feeling pain, but I was able to manage it, and I was able to tolerate the pain. So I was able to manage the pain. Then they put staples in my head. So the most common question that I've faced since this injury is, did you get a concussion? And my initial thought is, no, I didn't have any of the concussion symptoms. I did have a headache, but it just didn't fit right. So I never really qualified myself as having a concussion. But I didn't take that diagnosis away. So fast forward a week later, I'm healing up a little bit, pulled some of the staples out. I was bending over to plug in a light this morning and accidentally tapped the staples against the wall. Light tap. The funny thing is, I really haven't been having pain. I have really, I was looking forward to a few more days go by. I get to get these staples out and I get to go ride or go skiing, one or the other. And I tap it. And all of a sudden, I start kicking up excruciating pain. Now, when I say excruciating, it's not pain where the incisions are, or the staples. It's actually pain in my eyeball. So right now, my left eyeball feels like there's something just puncturing it. And it's felt like that for about 4 hours. So when I think about the pain is in your mind, it's in your brain, it's in your thoughts, I can get it. I can agree with that. But here's a scenario. I don't really want pain. I don't think I tapped my head on purpose. It was just an accident. But oddly enough, that small little tap created way more pain experience than I actually had hitting my head significantly, breaking my helmet, cutting my head, going to the urgent care, getting staples. So my point of all this is a significantly lesser of an incident, just tapping the staples, has caused me way more suffering than the actual injury itself. Now, if the mind was in total control and I could control this pain, I should be able to eliminate this eye pain. I should be able to move on. I should be able to just carry on with life. I haven't been. I took a few Tylenol, took a few naproxen, trying to get the pain to calm down. And right now, I can still say I got this eye pain that hasn't gone away. And no matter how much meditation, thought, trying to avoid it, this eye pain is just always there. So now, maybe the pain hasn't gone away because I haven't figured out how to actually let it go, how to free my mind of the pain. But as you can see, I'm out here doing a beautiful hike, trying to enjoy the day, and I'm enjoying the day, sharing some knowledge with you guys, but I'm still experiencing the pain. So I think more so, rather than saying, well, maybe I'm going to contradict myself here, is it's not necessarily whether or not you have pain or you don't have pain. It's how you interpret the pain. So in the moment of the injury, my body took care of itself. It knew exactly how to respond in trauma, and it did it for me. So I was able to stay calm. I was able to drive. I was able to do all these things because my body took care of it. Now, when there wasn't such a big trauma, I lightly tap my head. I don't have all these adrenaline or whatever happens when you go into shock happening to me. So then the pain sensation is extreme. So I don't have the body's natural defense of pain to help me. So with that being said, when I work with patients and they're fighting chronic pain and fighting all this stuff, I'll have talks with them, and I try to be very clear that I'm not trying to make them mad. I'm not trying to discredit their problem or their symptoms or any of this stuff, but I'll be upfront with them and let them know that sometimes, according to the neuroscience, you can control all this with thought. And in chronic pain, I think you can control a lot of the pain way more than you can with acute pain. Acute pain is when it happens immediately. So like the situation I'm having is because of a mechanical problem. I hit the staples, they've stimulated nerves in my skull. It's caused this severe pain behind my eye. Now, the difference between the acute pain and the chronic pain is the chronic pain has developed habit. It's developed structure. It's developed all these different things of when you have a problem, this is how I respond. When you have a problem, this is how I respond. And so it develops this pattern or habit, which in theory, to break a pattern or habit, you do have to change your mind. You do have to change your thought process. And so in that aspect, it is right. Pain is in the mind. It is in the brain. And you have to rewire back to the concept of what I was talking about of normalcy. So basically, this is my way of sharing my annoyances of my head right now, but hopefully helping people understand that when you hear your practitioner say that, you know, the pain is in your head, there's truth to it, and try not to jump on it too much and attack and, you know, be offended, but try to look at it and see, all right, what is it that you can change in thought? What is it that you can change in your mind? For the most part, there may not be anything. And if there isn't, then you just have to kind of accept where you're at and try to deal with it mechanically, which is kind of what I'm trying to do right now. But if I can figure out a way to turn off that pain cycle and allow myself not to have the headache, not to have the pain, that's super powerful. And I'm hoping if I figure it out, I'll make another video and share that with you. But at this moment, I'm just having to ride the wave of the headaches. And for the most part, being out in this beautiful area, having distractions, not getting overstimulated, helps me. Each person has their own little getaways from life. For me, hiking in the trails is my go-to. But anyways, hope that helps. My name is Rajesh Kemaraj. I'm a physical therapist in Portland, Oregon, and look forward to hearing from you. All right, take care.